God's people, Priscilla. This is Priscilla. Priscilla was an Israelite, which meant she was a part of God's family. Priscilla was a leader in the early church who taught others about Jesus. Since there weren't special buildings just for churches, Priscilla would teach people in her home. Priscilla and her husband worked together making tents, which was unusual because back then, most people expected women to only work at home. Most women weren't allowed to own property. And when they had something to say, people didn't always listen. But Priscilla was a little different. One day, Priscilla met the Apostle Paul. An apostle is someone who goes to all kinds of places telling people the good news about Jesus. And Paul was one of the most famous apostles because he told a lot of people about Jesus. Paul couldn't be everywhere all at once, so he often looked for teachers who could lead the churches he started. Paul met Priscilla when she was teaching in Corinth, and eventually they became really good friends. And when Paul decided to leave Corinth and start another church in a place called Ephesus, he asked Priscilla and her husband to join him and be leaders in the new church. Later on, Paul left, and a man named Apollos came to Ephesus. And Priscilla really loved listening to him teach. But she realized that Apollos was leaving out something important about following Jesus: the Holy Spirit. Priscilla went to Apollos and helped him understand about the Holy Spirit. Priscilla was kind to him, and he listened to what she told him. Apollos kept learning from Priscilla and eventually traveled on his own to tell others everything she taught him about Jesus and the Holy Spirit. God continued to trust Priscilla with the responsibility of leading the early church. And Priscilla continued to show kindness, hospitality, and hard work everywhere God sent her. And that's just a little about Priscilla.